You scrub it away. A week later, it comes back. Maybe yours is in the bathroom, above the shower. Maybe it is down in the basement, where the air always feels a little damp. Maybe it is hiding behind a piece of furniture you have not moved in years. At first, it looks like nothing, just a small dark spot, easy enough to ignore. Then one day you notice it has spread, a little wider, a little darker. Now every time you walk past it, your eyes go straight to that spot. You spray it with a cleaner from the store. The stain fades. For a little while you think the trouble is gone. Then it returns, sometimes larger than before. That is the part that frustrates people. Not seeing mold once, seeing it again and again no matter what they do. Money gets spent, bottle after bottle, different cleaners, different sprays, different promises printed on bright labels. Yet the same black patch keeps finding its way back onto the wall. And after a while, another worry starts creeping in. If it keeps coming back on the surface, what is happening behind the wall where you cannot see? That question keeps many homeowners awake at night. The strange thing is that damp buildings are nothing new. Long before special mold sprays existed, people stored food in cool cellars, worked in damp barns, and kept milk houses where moisture was part of everyday life. You would think those places would have been covered in mold. Many were not. The old people had ways of dealing with it that cost very little money. Some of those methods have nearly been forgotten today, and one of them may surprise you. Now, I want to be honest with you. There is no miracle cure for mold. Anybody who tells you one spray will solve every mold problem in every house is not telling you the whole truth. But there is an old approach that works far better than most people realize, and it costs only a few dollars. The surprising part is that most of the things you need are probably already sitting somewhere in your home. The truth is, mold has been troubling people for centuries. It did not suddenly appear when modern houses were built. Our grandparents dealt with it. Their parents dealt with it. And they learned very quickly that if you only cleaned what you could see, the mold would always return. The old solution was never just about killing mold. It was about understanding why it was there in the first place. My name is Amos Fisher. I am Amish, and I farm in Lancaster County, Pennsylvania. I have spent most of my life around old barns, root cellars, workshops, and outbuildings, where moisture is simply a part of life. I learned a great deal of this from my father and grandfather, and they learned it from the generations before them. One thing I remember clearly was my grandfather's stone cellar. It stayed cool throughout the year. Potatoes were stored there, apples, crocks of sauerkraut. The air was damp enough that most folks today would expect mold to cover every wall. Yet somehow those walls stayed remarkably clean. As a boy, I remember asking him about it. His answer was short. "The secret isn't fighting mold," he said. "The secret is making sure mold has nowhere to live." At the time, I did not fully understand what he meant. Years later, I realized that simple sentence explained more about mold than all the expensive bottles sitting on store shelves. And that brings us to the part that really matters. Before we go any further, I want to be honest with you. This is one of the most important parts, and many people skip right over it. A small patch of mold on a bathroom wall, a basement corner, a window frame, or a hard surface is often something a careful homeowner can deal with himself. But not every mold problem is a small one. If an entire wall is covered,
If the mold has spread through insulation, if there has been serious water damage, or if someone in your home has asthma, breathing troubles, or a weakened immune system, that is a different situation altogether. I would rather tell you the truth than oversell this. This method works very well in some situations and not nearly as well in others. Know your limits. There is no shame in calling for professional help when a problem has grown beyond what can be safely handled. Now let me explain something many people misunderstand. Most folks think mold is the problem. The truth is, mold is usually the symptom. The real problem is moisture. Mold is a little like weeds growing in a garden. When weeds appear, the weeds are not the cause. The conditions allowed them to grow. Mold works much the same way. It needs moisture, it needs a surface to grow on, and it needs time. Take away any one of those things and mold struggles to survive. That is why one family can live in a house for 20 years without mold, while another fights it every season. The mold is not choosing one house over another, it is following the moisture, a leaking pipe, a sweating window, steam from daily showers, poor airflow in a basement, a roof leak nobody noticed. These are often the true culprits. So stay with me, because before we talk about killing mold, we need to understand why it keeps finding a way back into the same places year after year. I learned this lesson many years ago, and it saved me a great deal of wasted effort. When mold appears, most people reach for bleach. It is probably the most common mold remedy in the country, and I understand why. You spray it on, the black stain fades, the surface looks cleaner almost immediately. It feels like you solved the problem. But let me be straight with you. Looking clean and being clean are not always the same thing. Many surfaces in a home are porous: wood, drywall, concrete, grout, even some types of stone. The mold you see on the surface is often only a small part of what is there. Like a weed in a garden, there can be more beneath the surface than above it. That is why so many people find themselves fighting the same patch of mold again and again. The stain disappears, a few weeks pass, then it returns. The truth is, the old people understood something that many folks have forgotten. You must deal with the mold itself, but you must also make the surface unfriendly to future growth. That is where plain white vinegar comes in. Not the expensive kind, not a special formula, just ordinary distilled white vinegar. The same inexpensive vinegar found in nearly every grocery store. My grandfather used it, my father used it, and I have used it many times over the years. Vinegar is not magic. I do not believe in magic solutions, but it can penetrate places that many surface cleaners never reach. It helps break the cycle of cleaning the same spot over and over. Then there is another old material that was used for generations in cellars, barns, milk houses, and outbuildings: lime. The old farmers trusted lime long before mold sprays were ever sold in stores. There is a reason many old cellar walls stayed surprisingly clean despite years of damp conditions. The answer was often sitting right there on the wall itself. Now here is the part that matters. Before I explain the old lime method, I want to show you exactly how to use vinegar properly, because one simple mistake causes many people to get poor results. So here is what I want you to do. This method is meant for small mold problems on hard surfaces, not major infestations hidden deep inside walls. You do not need expensive equipment. You do not need specialty chemicals. You need a few simple things: 1 bottle of plain white distilled vinegar, a spray bottle, a stiff cleaning brush, rubber gloves, a clean rag or towel, and warm water. The total cost is usually less than $5 if you need to buy everything except the spray bottle. Now, the first mistake people make is watering down the vinegar. Do not do that. Use it full strength. Pour the vinegar directly into your spray bottle without adding water, then spray the moldy area thoroughly. Do not mist it lightly. You want the surface completely wet. If the mold is on grout, concrete, unfinished wood, or another porous surface, make sure the vinegar has enough liquid to soak into the material. Once the area is thoroughly covered, leave it alone. This is where people get impatient. Do not scrub right away. Do not wipe it off after 5 minutes. Let the vinegar sit for a full hour. Set a timer if you need to. That hour is when the real work is being done. While you wait, open a nearby window if possible. Good airflow helps remove moisture and makes the area more comfortable to work in. After the full hour has passed, use your stiff brush and scrub the area thoroughly. You may need several minutes of steady scrubbing if the mold has been there a long time. Once the surface looks clean, wipe it down with warm water and a clean cloth. Then comes the step many people skip. Dry the area completely. I cannot stress this enough. Mold loves moisture. Leaving a damp surface behind is like pulling weeds and leaving the seeds in the garden. Use a dry towel. Run a fan if necessary. The cleaner the surface and the drier the surface, the better your results will be. And in a moment, I will show you the second part of the old system, the part many people never hear about, which helps discourage the mold from returning after the cleaning is finished.
Now we come to the second part of the old method. Most people stop after cleaning. That is why they often end up fighting the same mold again a month later. Once the surface is clean and completely dry, take some ordinary baking soda from the kitchen. You do not need much. Mix about 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda into 1 cup of water. Stir it well. Then pour it into a spray bottle or simply wipe it onto the cleaned area with a cloth. Apply a light coating over the spot you just treated. And here is the important part. Do not rinse it away. Let it dry naturally. As the water evaporates, a thin layer of baking soda remains behind. The old people liked baking soda because it helps create a surface that mold does not particularly enjoy growing on. It also helps reduce that stale, musty smell that often lingers after mold has been removed. It's a simple step, but many folks find it helpful. Now, before we go further, I want to give you the safety section. Do not skip this. This is where people get into trouble. Never mix vinegar and bleach together. Not ever. Combining the two can create dangerous fumes that can harm your lungs. If you have already used bleach on a surface, wash the area thoroughly with clean water and allow it to dry before using vinegar. Always wear gloves when cleaning mold. Open a window if possible. If you begin disturbing a moldy surface and notice a large number of spores becoming airborne, step back and reconsider whether the job is too large to handle safely yourself. And here's another important thing. If the mold keeps returning, no matter how many times you clean it, stop focusing on the mold and start focusing on the moisture. A leaking pipe, a roof leak, poor ventilation, condensation around a window. The truth is, no cleaner on earth can permanently solve a moisture problem. You may remove the mold today, but if the wall remains damp, the mold will eventually find its way back. That is why the old farmers always said the moisture was the real enemy, not the mold itself. And that brings us to the lesson my grandfather taught me in his cellar. The reason some old buildings stayed clean for generations, while others constantly struggled with mold. Now, here is the part that always makes me shake my head a little. A person can spend $20 or $30 on a specialty mold spray, use the whole bottle, watch the mold return, then go buy another bottle and do it all again.
A year passes, and they may spend well over $100 fighting the same patch of mold. Meanwhile, a gallon of white vinegar costs only a few dollars. A box of baking soda costs very little. Even the old lime methods used by generations of farmers cost only a fraction of what many modern products cost today. The truth is, this has never really been about expensive products. It has always been about understanding the problem. That is the bigger lesson here. The old people could not afford to waste money. They learned to fix causes instead of symptoms. They learned to make things last. They learned to work with common sense and patience rather than constantly buying another solution. That kind of knowledge is worth keeping. So here is what I want you to do this week. Pick one spot in your house where mold keeps returning. Treat it properly with full-strength vinegar. Dry it thoroughly, apply the baking soda solution, then spend a few minutes looking for the source of moisture. Be a detective. Look for leaks. Look for condensation. Look for places where air is not moving. You may learn more in those 10 minutes than from a dozen bottles of cleaner. Now I would like to hear from you. Where does mold keep returning in your home? Is it the bathroom, the basement, around a window, or somewhere else entirely? Tell me down in the comments. I read them and I learn a great deal from the experiences folks share. My name is Amos Fisher from Lancaster County, Pennsylvania. Thank you for spending a little time with me today. And next time, I'm going to show you the old-fashioned methods the Amish community uses to cool down any home. Until then, take care of your home. Fix the moisture before it becomes trouble, and remember that some of the best solutions are still the simple ones our grandparents trusted every day.